Okay, suppose the auditorium of the Tagaytay International Convention Center, or TICC, has 20 seats in the first row, and that each row has two more seats than the previous row. If there are 30 rows in the auditorium, how many seats are in the last row? So, to solve real life problems involving sequences, remember the words see, plan, do, and look back. So, how it will be for your solution? So, let's have see what kind of sequence is involved in the problem. So, in here we have 20 plus 22 plus 24 plus 26 until you come up with the 30th term. Then you need to plan. So, what's the appropriate formula to be used and the needed values? So, a sub 1, n is equal to a sub 1 plus the number of terms minus 1 times the common difference, where a sub 1 is equal to 20, the common difference equal to 2, and the number of terms equal to 30. Do, we need to perform the indicated operations and simplify. So, the general formula, so the nth term equals the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times common difference, wherein we have 20 plus 30 minus 1 times 2. 30 minus 1 is equal to 29. 29 times 2 is 58, and 58 plus 20 is 78. So the answer in here is 78. And now we have in here look back. The answer should satisfy all the given information in the problem. So you have in here manually you add all the numbers, but then for us to have a easy way, we need to find the total number of seats, which is we're going to use the arithmetic series or the sum the given sum given the formula, wherein we have sum of the nth term plus the number of terms divided by 2 times the first term plus the nth term. So we can use this formula if and only if we have the first term and the last term and the number of terms. But then if we don't have the last term, we can use the other formula wherein the sum of the nth term is equal to the number of terms divided by 2 times twice the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times the common difference. So in here, we need to have the common difference, we need to have the number of terms, and we need to have the first term. And for us to have the sum of the geometric series, now we're going to use the formula sum of the nth term equals a times 1 minus r raised to the number of terms over 1 minus r. So in here, suppose in illustrative example 1, you are asked to find the total number of seats. How will you do it? So instead of adding the number of seats per row, you must use the formula. First term equals 20, number of seats in the first row, then you have n as 30 rows, and then you have the common difference, that is 2. So since it involves arithmetic sequence, we're going to use the arithmetic series. So in here, the sum of the nth term is equal to the number of terms divided by 2 times twice the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times common difference. So substituting the given in the problem, so we're going to have 30 divided by 2, which is 15, 2 times 20, which is 40, 30 minus 1, which is 29, then times 2. And then we're going to have 1,470 as our total number of seats. So let's have the illustrative example 3. Find the sum of the sequence 2, 6, 18, 54, and so on. No? Okay, until you have the fifth term. So a sub 1 is equal to 2, the common ratio is 3, then the number of terms is 5. So the sum of the nth term is equal to first term times 1 minus common ratio raised to the number of terms over 1 minus r, since it involves geometric sequence. So in here, we're going to have 2 times 1 minus 3 raised to the 5th power over 1 minus 3. So 3 to the 5th is 243, and that's a negative 1 minus 243 is equal to negative 242, and then divided with negative 2. So the answer in here is a positive 242. So we're going to check. The 5 terms of the sequence are 2, 6, 18, 54, and 162. And the sum of the terms, no, 2 plus 6 plus 18 plus 54 plus 162 is equal to 242. So in learning task 2, we need to solve the following problems. Number 1, to replace the trees destroyed by Typhoon Yolanda, the forestry department at Tagaytay has developed a 10-year plan. During the first year, they will plant 100 trees. Each succeeding year, they will plant 50 more trees that they planted the year before. First problem is how many trees will they plant during the 5th year, and the second problem is how many trees will they have planted by the end of the 10th year. So in here, we just need to complete the table. 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 555. So for the sequence, we have 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550. So this sequence is an arithmetic sequence, and we have in here to use the formula. Nth term is equal to the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times common difference. And given that we have in here is the first term, that is 100, the number of terms that is 10, and the common difference, that is 50. So in here, the first term is 100, so 100 plus 5 minus 1 times 50. So 4 times 50 is equal to 200 plus 100, so the fifth term is 300. Then the next one is the sum of the trees, total number of trees planted at the end of the 10th year. So we're going to use the sum of the nth term equals n over 2 times twice the first term plus the number of terms minus 1 times the common difference. So in here we got 3,250. For number 2, every December, Tagaytay Science National High School is sponsoring a gift-giving program for an orphanage. A newspaper fan drive to collect funds was launched, and the student promised that he will bring 2 newspapers on the launching day of the drive, 6 on the second day, and triple the number of the newspapers each day until the last day of the fund drive. If the fund drive is set from December 1 to December 5, how many newspapers will the student bring on the last day? So the first term is 2, the common ratio is 3, and the number of terms is 5. So a sub 5 is equal to 2 times 3 raised to 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4, and 3 to the 4th power is 81, and 81 times 2 is 160. So the fifth term is 160. So the next question is, what's the total number of newspaper that he will contribute? So in here, we're going to use the sum of the nth term. So for the geometric series, so we're going to have 2 times 1 minus 3 to the 5th power. 3 to the 5th power is 243. 1 minus 243 is a negative 242. Then we just have negative 248 divided by negative 2, and then we got 242. Then we have the learning task 3. So how do you solve problems involving sequence? So you just need to discuss the mathematics concepts and principles applied when solving problems involving sequence. Number 2, what new realizations do you have about solving problems involving sequence? How would you connect this to real life, and how would you use this in making decisions? Then solve the logs are filed such that each row